So, in terms of the connection between Ukraine and the Melanesian people of the Pacific, what have you got so far? What have you found so far?
Well, first of all, before this war in Ukraine, people around the world, not just Melanesia, had a very vague idea of what is Ukraine and how different it is from Russia. People classically, traditionally, have always thought that Ukraine is just part of Russia, and it was, but still culturally distinct, even though these are related people, but they're culturally distinct. And obviously, Ukraine has made it clear that it does not want to follow Russia's route of increasing totalitarianism, authoritarianism, right? After the breakup of the Soviet Union, Ukraine is a liberal democracy. It's not perfect. It has corruption. It has other things, but it does not want to this kind of path that Putin has chosen and convinced his people to follow. And in that, I've seen much and witnessed much solidarity on the part of Melanesians, Solomon Islanders, Vanuatu, and PNG people. They understand what is at stake. They understand that Ukraine's cause is the right cause. I've not met a single supporter of Russia here. They always say we support Ukraine. They tell me that they call Russia a communist country, even though technically it's no longer a communist country. But I think it's a way of them saying that it's not a democratic country. So they see commonality about the fact that we are both democracies, Ukraine and Papua New Guinea, very imperfect ones, but still, that's what makes Papua New Guineans say that they support Ukraine and they reject this kind of aggression. It's almost like when people ask me maybe to a very imperfect analogy, but let's say what Putin is doing, and people want to know first of all, is the war still going on? And I have to tell them yes. Just because you don't hear about it as much, Gaza came in, right, and kind of distracted people, other things. And human psychology, you just can't concentrate on the same thing unless you live there, right? Then you just kind of move on to other subjects. You grow tired of it. But the war is just as intense, if not more intense than ever. Putin has invited 12,000 North Korean soldiers who are fighting now on its behalf, on Russia's behalf, in different theaters of war. And they also want to know if it's still going on. Want to know what the future holds, when it will end, and once again, no one knows. Um, so everything is up in the air. Big question about Donald Trump and his administration, what they're going to do about this war, whether Putin will be motivated to negotiate, any peace agreement with Ukraine. So things are up in the air, and my point in my meetings with the locals is to say that the outcome will affect everything. And coming back to the analogy, to make it kind of relevant to people, what Putin is doing and why he has, you know, attacked Ukraine and tried to annex it, right, and tried to destroy its sovereignty is as if like former, let's say, colonial power of PNG, let's say Australia, right, decided that, no, I'll have a change of heart. All of a sudden, they decided that PNG should not be a separate country. It was our colony. We should probably get it back and re-invaded, invaded PNG and tried to restore the old order. Very imperfect analogy, right? But it's sort of like that. Ukraine was off and on Russia's colony before the communists came in 1917, and then the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was Russia's kind of big project, and Ukraine was part of it. And so Putin decided that it was unfair that the Soviet Union fell apart. He wants to restore, the old country, right? The old greatness, and he feels that unless he gets Ukraine, Russia will not be that same empire that it was. So Russia thinks as an empire. It's still not a normal country in its like 21st century sense. It's an empire. It's not a republic. It's not a democracy. It's a country that constantly seeks its meaning for existence by annexing neighboring countries or controlling them. You know, that's what we're doing.